Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the I Hate This Industry podcast.
We rusted, man.
Dust the dust, brush the dust off the mic.
We rusted.
Yeah. Welcome back to the I Hate This Industry podcast. I am your host. Damn.
Forgot his name.
Damn.
God
That's just age.
God
He don't
damn,
forgot
man.
his name.
Shit.
Yo, all right. It's the personality. You gotta put the personality. It's been a while.
Yeah.
All right, yo. Welcome back to the I Hate This Industry podcast. I am your humble and handsome host, Stephen Almeida, and this is my co-host, the good brother, the architect of the Gold Print, Darrell Reese Jr. What's good?
Yes, indeed, man. What's good with you, man? How you feeling, man? How you feeling?
I'm feeling good, man. I'm feeling like it's Monday, goddamn it. It's been a Monday today, but I feel great. This is episode 11. Shockingly, we made it here. We made it to episode 11 amongst
Yeah.
through all the challenges. But I feel good. I
Yeah.
feel good. How you feeling?
I'm feeling good, man. Went for a run about 2 hours ago.
Nice.
I love the daylight saving time, like when it get dark around late 7, something like that. I love
Yeah.
that, bro. I love it. I love it. I
Yeah,
love it.
I was doing it, man. I was on it. I was on my workout. I lost weight, man. I lost weight, so I feel
Yeah, I
really
see,
good.
man. Congrats on that.
Thank you. So I've been losing a lot of weight, so I feel good. I've been slacking this week, but it's just because a lot of shit been piling on. So sometimes it's harder to organize all of that shit. Organize like those things when it's like, oh, this shit got to be prioritized. But
Oh yeah.
I be trying to get in at least like some calisthenics at the crib. I got to go running, but or hit the gym, do some weights. But that's good, man. That's good. What you did was like,
Man, it was pretty good, man. Work was good. Work was good. Had a lot of challenges and things at work that we just trying to get over the hurdle. We trying to be consistent. It's been a pretty good month at work. So yeah, we doing pretty good, man.
and how's the full time position been?
So yeah, man, it's been pretty good, man. Like I said, we like with me, especially being in person, like I get a better understanding and I can be able to feed off knowledge and energy and ideas come to me naturally. Like once I'm in person with them, like once I'm in that atmosphere of that person. So
Yeah,
I can definitely say that has helped me.
yeah,
So yeah, I'm looking forward
yeah.
to next
Having
few months.
people that you could bounce off of like that I work better in those creative environments.
Oh
Like
yeah.
I'm more of I'm an asset. I feel like I'm an asset anywhere I'm at, but I'm more of I get into my bag when I'm in person and we just like and I could just throw things out and see if they stick and see how people respond to it, and then you can build on and add to it. That's my bag. Um that's good, man. That's good. Work sucked for me. You know what it is though, is that at least the good thing, you're working in a space where it's kind of aligned with what you want to do with your life.
Right.
So um I feel like when you're in those positions, you learn a lot as to where you want to. It's like, okay, I'm interested in this. I want to do this for my life. So anything I take from this adds to that resume and to that experience bank.
Right.
Um, what I do, and it's not something that I don't want to do. It's something that's useful and something I can utilize, and I plan on building a business around it. Sooner than later. I'm just waiting for all my certifications to come in. But I don't. It's not my interest. It's like it's really something that just pays the bills. So it's like the days be draining. When you're just doing something you don't want to do.
Right.
Because while I'm at work, I'm like, damn, I could be doing this, I could be doing that. Then by the end of the day, I'd be drained. So, but I mean, you take everything I take is a learning experience. So I'm not complaining. I just rather be doing something else.
Oh yeah.
um, So what's good? What we getting into? Yo, this is for those just tuning in, this is episode 11. Um I know y'all thought we wasn't gonna make it. Ha ha.
Jokes on you, high
Jokes on
five.
you.
I'm bulletproof. But yeah, man, this is the first iteration of a segment that we're doing called Laying the Foundation.
Mm-hmm.
And basically what Laying the Foundation is, Laying the Foundation is a mini series that's chronicling the journey and the ups and downs of the foundation short film process. So that goes from me editing the film, putting together, Steve doing the sound design and the score, the behind the scenes, the making of the film, what led up to this moment, us breaking down scenes, us talking about the stills, the color grading, and what we newly just happened is us going off and venturing off to film festival. So we're gonna talk about all that throughout this episode. And man, like this film process has indeed been a journey, but it's just beginning. Like
Yeah,
I truly feel like yes, like it's been in development for 4 years, but I feel like okay, the journey is just beginning. Like I
yeah,
truly do feel like that.
I agree. I think finishing the film is the beginning. I think like the work, the journey. I mean, it's all part of the journey, but I feel like this is where you make your bones at right now. You know, because with the creative process, I feel like in our heads, the 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 ego and the confidence, like you kind of in your mind decided you can do it already. You know, it's just a matter of showing, proving it. Um,
Or
I feel like the challenge is, can I make it successful? You know what I mean? Can I make it successful? Can I put it in the position I want it to be in? Or
absolutely.
how do I set it up so that what comes next, you know, is bigger and better and adds to and continues it. I feel like those are the challenges. Um, but yeah, I'm excited about this series. I'm excited about it. I feel like especially with this podcast, we share a lot of information. We share a lot of our journeys, whether it's in the music industry, in the creative industry, the media industry, the entertainment industry. So for people, I love it because this film was a great example of the independent creative taking that idea, developing it over years, deciding on how we're gonna do it, laying it out, executing, the sacrifices, the funding, the money, everything that goes into it, getting people, renting equipment, everything that went into it. Um, it's really an example of what it takes to create something independently and put it out into the world. And I think we did a great job of doing that with this film.
Absolutely.
And it's not even done. Like you said, this is really the beginning of that process.
Absolutely, man. It's a beautiful thing. Just seeing it now out to a select few people and waiting for their feedback and the feedback that we've gotten. Like it's been a beautiful thing and still waiting on certain feedback from this film. But yeah, man, like I don't want to go back all the way because I know I talked about it a little in the past, but when this idea sparked for me in 2021, like it was off the I had to pivot. I had to
Yeah.
pivot from this film that I was doing, Scorpio, and
Oh
I was just
shit!
like,
I forgot that was.
"Oh yeah, oh
Yeah, I
yeah,
forgot about Scorpio. Holy
oh
fuck!
yeah, yeah, man. That was something else. That was something else. But yeah, I watched it. I watched Scorpio. Okay, I got feedback on it, and I was just like, I don't like this. I
Mm,
know I can do something better.
yeah.
Like I told myself I will not settle for mediocrity. Like I cannot settle for that. And I knew like, okay, the plan that I have, what I want to do with this, it has to take 2 to 3 years. It has to take me planning. It has to take me multiple years of development. It has to take a team. It has to take the Avengers damn near in order for me to bring this to life. So it was times where I thought I was ready to film this film, and I'm glad. I'm really, really glad I didn't film it at that time.
Yeah.
It's just like it wouldn't even be close to what it was. It'll be something like Scorpio, but
Yeah.
a little bit of acting. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's just learning the art of pivoting in filmmaking. It has to be an asset that not necessarily that you be great at, but it has to be something that you're skilled at. And that's just anything with life, and just learning how to pivot with this film and just being patient. Like
Yeah.
those are the two P's in this film. Pivoting and patience. Like those two help me craft like the development process and things like that. And so fast forward to the editing process, and when we got done filming it, I was just like, okay, let me take a few weeks just to be centered, and the film is done. Like if the film is done filming, let me take a few weeks to just figure out how I want to edit this and how I want to approach this. So I was like, okay, let's do this. Let's break it off into certain aspects of how I want to do it, as far as sequencing in the double premiere, what scene I want to tackle first. And then I was just like, okay, I was looking at it. It's a few more scenes that we got to shoot. It was some issues that we had in the opening scene that we had to reshoot, and it was just like, okay, I'm learning as I'm going.
Yeah.
Like I'm learning as I'm going throughout this process, and just getting feedback along the way, and things like that was very helpful. Like shout out to Juan, like he helped me as far as crafting ideas and certain things of how the film look color wise, and certain angles and things like this. Hey, punch in this, lower the lower the lamp, like just little small things in the film and things like that. Lower the shadows and just small details that you will
Mm.
only see like on a grander scale that the certain normal
Yeah.
eye wouldn't notice. So yeah, it was just a learning process, and just throughout this, and it was what, a full 2 months that we
Mm. From shooting, like,
from editing, from editing.
yeah, it was like 2 months.
Yeah, like a full 2 months and things
I
like that.
Yo, for those who ever feel any way about a deadline, listen, we had a deadline. We were damn near editing till on the deadline day. Like,
Damn there, man. Damn there.
I mean, Darrell was reshooting, I think, the day before, right?
Yeah, like
Something like that.
yeah, like the deadline. Yeah, I can get into it. Like the deadline. I know we all over the place, but we're still in the editing phases.
Yeah, yeah,
So yeah, like it was like a few days or a day. I know it wasn't a day before, like a few days before. We shot a scene that's in the film festival version of the film, because we had to pivot on certain things, and it was just like, man, like we are. I felt like Kanye turning in the album the night of, like just watching the Donda Experience and things like that.
yeah,
Him turning in a certain album like the night of that it's released, and I was just like, man, at this point, I told myself you would never really be satisfied. Like I will always be in my head when it comes to this film, bro. Like,
yeah,
and I'm just like, okay, I'm editing it to my liking. I'm getting feedback. I'm trying to do this. I'm trying to do that. Like, okay, does the story make sense? Like, that was a big question mark to me. Like, okay, is the normal person going to get this story? Is the normal person going to be able to watch the beginning, middle, and end and put two and two together and say, oh, okay, like, okay. And it was just like, okay, yeah, like I get it, of course. And it was some things that I could have done better story wise, and I was just like, okay, we'll do it on the next one. We
yeah.
also have opportunity to remold and
Some of the
recraft, certain things throughout the year, and it's just like, okay, I don't want to rush this process, but I know we gotta get it done. Like
yeah,
that was the thing. Like we couldn't just harp on it for weeks and months and things like that. Like we have to get this done. And that was mainly the editing process. It was just like, okay, let me edit a few scenes here and there. Let me put this together, and then let me put it all together. Then let me start coloring it. Like
Yeah.
coloring in itself was a whole different process in itself, and just honing in the skills that I knew, but also developing new coloring techniques
As
throughout the
you're going.
film. And I knew during the betrayal scene between the protagonist and the antagonist, like I knew the type of color of the lamp that I wanted. Funny enough, I think it's the same color as this one right here. So like I knew exactly like the color I wanted, and I wanted that soft light bouncing off the subject and things like that. And I displayed shadows how I wanted, but not to the extent of how I needed it to be, if that makes sense. Like there was things that we should have did in that moment, in that scene, that could have been better and made it more cinematic, as they say. So
Mhm.
like, and that's just things that I'm just gonna develop and craft throughout the next journey and the next film, and things like that. And so it's just like, okay, I know how I want the film to look. Like I know, like okay, I have kind of inspiration from Black Panther too, but I have a lot of inspiration from Lena Waithe's Shoulder Shot, and the way
Yeah.
that she used these dark undertones and these warm ambient lights, these soft lights to depict certain characters in the film and depict certain scenes and moments that are going on in that scene. So it's just like, okay, I like how this look. I love how this look, but it's just one thing missing. I'm gonna get to that one thing. I'm gonna pass it off to you. Like it was just one thing that was missing in that, and so it was a few scenes that I went back and did different colors to. So I exported the still, exported the video, and I compared the two on how I want to look and things like that. And it was just certain things that I was just like, how do I feel about it? How do I feel about this? I would say the chess scene in particular was the one that it was okay. I had to go into tiny details to fix it. The chess scene and the ending scene with John and the Wise Man. Like it was tiny, super tiny details that I had to fix in those scenes, and especially the chess scene. It was something that I caught on too late. So it
Yeah.
was like I was 95% done coloring it, ready to complete it. And then I exported and I watched it. I was like, what is that? So I was like, damn.
And this stuff you talking about things you caught in the coloring?
Yeah, something I caught in the coloring, and I was just like, damn, I gotta go zoom in like all the way on the certain area of the that I want to fix and things like that. I just had to hone in and just fix it. And I watched it earlier and I was just like, damn, I could have did that a little bit more. But again, this film is the foundation as we are building it brick by brick. So we have the luxury of like just molding it and reshaping it how we want to throughout this process. So yeah, man, just the editing process, like it was just sleepless nights. It was times where I
It's a
just
fact.
caught myself driving. It was times I caught myself in the middle of the night just thinking about it. And it was just like, man, like I hope people resonate with it.
Yeah.
Like like how I feel about it. Like I know people won't necessarily feel that exact way, but I truly hope people get an understanding of the passion that it took into editing this film and coloring this film and just crafting this story together. And man, like the missing piece was the sound design. So I told
Mm.
myself, like, okay, I have this color for this scene between the protagonist and the antagonist, and we had an idea of a type of sound that we wanted. And again, like filmmaking is okay, we racing to the finish line. So if you see something you're lacking, you're gonna pick it up on your way to the finish line. I don't have time to stop and drink water. If
Yeah.
someone running a marathon, they damn they're drinking the water while they still
Yeah,
running.
yeah, yeah.
So that's how we was doing with this film process. And I told myself, this jazz music is gonna
Hey
come.
man.
It's gonna complement these scenes so beautiful, and it's gonna
Yeah.
be truly amazing. So yeah, man, just break down the sound design on your part. You fully did the sound design. You crafted a beautiful piece of art, man. Like we were talking about
Yeah.
Basquiat earlier. Like man, this was a
Yeah,
beautiful
man.
piece of art, man.
I shocked myself, man. I'll be honest.
We
Nah,
both did.
seeing everybody's feedback, and just a compliment. It's crazy because I'm not as active in the group chat as I should be, but I'm dealing with kids and like I'm kind of everywhere. So I read it all and I'll comment here and there. Um, but I'm as active as I can be in the moments I am. But seeing when you put it up and you told people to check it out, that this is the first draft, and I think everybody was just like, "Yo, the coloring and the sound design and the sound sounds amazing." Like everything, and I'm like, "That's crazy," because that was like we were so hyper focused on those two
For
things.
real.
We were so hyper focused on the sound and the coloring, and it showed. That's what it told me. It's like, oh shit, like it that connected, you know, it connected the attention that we actually spent on the coloring and the sound. Um, you did a really good job of communicating what you wanted it to sound like. You gave great reference points um as to what you wanted. And we went and licensed the music the right way. We went and did everything the right way. I've done a lot of editing. I've done a lot of sound mixing. I got into music earlier through mixing. I was an engineer before I was ever like a artist or any of that. I started in music as an engineer. Um, but I've never done it at this level where I first off I know you're like a perfectionist to a certain extent. Or not a perfectionist. You're very set on quality. So
Right.
as I'm working on things, I have to up because I'm not the opposite. I love good quality, but I also love ruggedness. You know, like because that's the kind of art I come from. I got like in the art
Mhm.
that I resonate with. I resonate with that raw and that ruggedness, and it's like I love that. You know, I'm a Wu-Tang fan. I love the grittiness. I love when you can hear the vinyl in the thing. I think there's an art to that. So working with you, I step it up. I keep I try to keep my style and my influence and everything in the things I do. But I know when I'm working with people, you have to also it's a collaborative effort. So I know your standard of excellence. I'm like, okay, I have to raise my standard of excellence to this. Not just for you, but for myself too. You got to show yourself you can do it. So I did a lot of research as to what I want the sound to sound like, where it should be at, and I did a lot of mixing. And those sleepless nights, man, I've been there because I'm talking about like working these 8-9 hour shifts sometimes, running around with the family afterwards, and then I'm not getting to the sound to really sitting down and working on it till 10 p.m., 11 p.m. You know, that's when I'm sitting down to work on this. So you got to figure you beat life. Them beat you up that day. You know how everybody who works a job knows what it's like. At the end of the day, sometimes you just want to relax. And then I'm digging into the sound. I'm spending hours on it. And that process was it the well when I started without the video, uh, which is probably stupid to begin with. I don't know why we even did that
Yeah, I
from the
don't know
beginning.
what was going on with that.
When I thought about it, I was like, that don't even make no sense. Um, but so I started by mixing the audio without the video. So I'm just really putting audio pieces together, and that was cool. But it transformed into something else when we was like, okay, let me edit with the video,
Oh yeah.
because then I got to feel it, and then I got to see it, and I got to like, okay, I was able to add so much more to it than just leveling out audio. It was like I noticed things in the scene where I was like, oh, okay, let me put this here, let me put that there, let me put the sound of the chess piece, let me put the sound, like building all of those things together. Is like you can't do that without watching it, without seeing it. Um the I'm trying to think what's the first scene I did. But let me talk on the jazz music. The jazz music to me was incredible. I love first off, I love jazz. The jazz just it connects this whole story.
Absolutely.
see,
Absolutely.
with sound design, great films tell a story in so many different ways, right? So you're telling a story visually, you're telling a story with the dialogue, with the characters. You're also telling a story with the soundscape of it all.
Absolutely.
And some people don't understand that. Not some people don't understand that, but you can watch something where those they lack in those details, or they're not storytelling in that aspect. They just you know sometimes, and I get it because maybe everything doesn't call for it. Sometimes you're just adding sound to the background.
Right.
Where even with the selection of music you chose, or we chose, it was like all these things are telling us like everything is connecting. There's a story behind the way the music is building. What people will notice, and maybe those people who are really paying attention, you'll notice that there's one song in particular that's reused throughout the entire film. But I warped it in so many different ways in those scenes. Changing octaves, removing instruments in the beat. Um,
Talk about it.
Slowing the pitch down. Like at some point, you might not even tell that that's the beat. How I brought instruments in and out of it at different points. And that laid this whole theme and motif to this story. And that in itself is like dope. Like I said, that's why I shocked myself with it. I was like, shit, this is pretty fly. Scenes like with the 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 transaction scenes, right? At first it was just the music, and it could have played just like that, and I was like, damn, let me add. I love that song that plays during those transactions. That shit is fire.
Oh yeah, man. That was a late minute ad.
Yeah,
That was a
yeah,
late minute ad.
that shit, that music, that song is so fire. And adding I added the sound, the door closing, right? So I'll tell you something that I thought, and there's a trick I learned from Zaki actually, watching him develop sound in his albums and his music and how he transitions between scenes. He showed me tricks of how to use certain sounds to that lead into other scenes, and I thought it was so dope when it came to designing sound. So with that scene in particular, that you close the door, but the next scene is the trunk opening. So I want to use this sound. I used a sound that sounded like that was the door closing, but it also sounded like the trunk opening when you open it in the next scene. It was like this transition that was really dope. To me, it was really dope because I know what I did, but but it was things like that they weren't there. Maybe people won't notice it, but when you listen to it, see you when you hear those things, it's like, oh, it connect. You see the storyline, you see that story playing out. There's there's a story being threaded in the sound of it all. It's like the door closing, the trunk opening. You know what I mean? Then there's the phone ringing, in that scene to the next scene where it's vibrating, like all these different things. Like it didn't need that. You know what I mean? Adding it gave it more depth. You
Absolutely.
know, so and those were things, like I said, that only came with watching. I watched the video beforehand and was building the sound to it. And it just is such a dope experience. I'm trying to the voiceovers, those voiceover scenes, uh, to me are the most they stand out. Those are things you like. Yeah, you could play this film just audio. That's how good it is.
Damn sure
You know
can.
what I mean? Like
Definitely
you could
that.
play it. It could be an audio story. You could listen to it, and it's
That's a fact.
the continuity in it, the way the jazz songs transition. It sounds so good, and I know that because I listened to it without video. I listened to the whole thing to while I'm testing the audio. So there's something to that. You know, there's just something special to that. And I think that adds to the dynamic of the film. Um, it was a lot of work. I recommend to anybody who does get into filmmaking and sound design, to spend the time in researching sound, like figure out what's the right sound for your film. Is it the music? What levels? Like research the levels that the music is supposed to be at. The voice, I was scared of that. I was scared mixing it, like, and I was using facts. I was using facts of what levels this should be at. Like this was scientific,
All right.
and I set those things on there, and then I had to alter them and make sure it balanced out. And when I play, and I use I bought these headphones. These are $100 headphones. I bought these headphones specifically for this project. Um, because they're great. These are the industry standard for mixing, and it sounded great in the headphones. And I'm like, damn, that's weird. I listened to it in the car. I was like, shit. And that's what I mean. How many people play film audio in their car?
Yeah.
I was driving to it like, this shit sound fire, right? Then I played it in my TV, I got surround sound. So I'm listening to it in the surround sound, which is something else I wanted to, but it just does not, that there's no time. It's just like, that's a different level of it. Whereas like if we editing sound now for surround sound, I didn't think we were, not that we're not at that level, but we didn't even discuss that. So I was like,
All right.
I don't know if that's something. Well, we could look into that in the future. But listening to it on my surround sound system sounded fire. And I remember I'm standing in my living room, why? Because my TV's on the wall, like up on the walls, kind of like give you for like movie theater vibes. So I'm standing watching it, and that shit's blasting through my sound, and yo, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, holy shit,
I
this shit
did that,
sound,
man.
this shit sound good, like this shit. And my neighbor was over, he's like, yo, this shit look good, this shit sound, and I'm like, that's crazy, like, like you go like, oh shit, like I did something right.
Absolutely, man.
um but it was a journey. A lot of I went back in. I built a sound chain. Um, I built a sound chain of effects. Man, shout out to Waves. Fantastic company that I used plugins at, phenomenal plugins that took the sound to a whole different level. Waves on Tyrus. What's the other company? And Izod. I think it was Izod. Well, Izote. Izote. I can't remember. Whatever. But fantastic, fantastic companies. And of course Adobe Audition, man. These yo, that's like that's all it took. It's simple. It took, not simple, but it took an investment. I paid subscriptions for all these companies. So it take a little bit of money, but if you when you see this film and you hear it, you'll see why it was well worth it. You'll see why me and Darrell put up the money that we had to put up to get the resources that we needed to get to, because we knew what it took to get to a quality that we wanted. And um you're gonna see and hear it when you do, and you'll see why. And all of this comes from not just researching, from betting on ourselves, from investing in
Absolutely.
ourselves, from investing into the project, and not just trying to put something out that just to put it out and say we did it. It's like, if we're gonna put it out, let's do it at the highest level that we can possibly do within our grasp. What we can't do, we can't do. It's that simple. What's
Hmm.
outside of our resources is outside of our resources. But we utilized everything that we could within our resources. And yo, all those things came in clutch, man. It came in clutch when I was, instead of having to figure everything out, I was using plugins that are designed for these to tune things at a certain way, to lower frequencies in a certain way. Like you said, I'm learning in real time as well,
Absolutely.
editing with these things and using all these tools. And yo, I can't be grateful enough for having the awareness to be able to research what tools will work best for me in this on this project, and then being able to learn how to use those tools in real time and learning to adjust. So I had edited one piece of the film, of the sound of the sound at first, and then I developed a new sound chain after I got some of these resources, and I had to go back and re-edit those with the new sound chain. That way to make sure everything sounded consistent.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and yo, it sounds great.
Oh
not
yeah,
too
man.
not
It was
tooting my own
beautiful.
horn. These are the facts. The people
Absolutely.
are speaking. Nah, but it does sound great. I shocked myself. Um, and Darrell did an amazing job with the editing and the coloring, and how it was like shit. Something that was really, really, really that we really hyper focused on, that we talked about. I'm telling you, everything was intentional. It's
Absolutely. And that was the plan. Like that was the plan when it came to filmmaking and just studying the people I studied, like the way they talk about these films, the way they develop these films, the way they create these films, is every little detail is intentional. Like
yeah.
things that you may never think was important to them, and it was placed to them from Ryan Coogler, Spike Lee to Christopher Nolan. Like that, the symbolism and the foreshadowing that was displayed in this film was all done on purpose, and
Hmm.
the way it sounded, like Nina Simone is a great inspiration of mine, and I knew 3 years ago how I wanted this film to sound, and I was like, okay, I need a Nina Simone sounding film meets with the drama that tackles redemption, that tackles betrayal, that tackles one finding himself throughout this chaos, and one that he was deemed brothers with, and now it all shattered over a certain power ideology of how one may look at certain things in this universe that we're creating. And I was just like, okay, everything I had in my head, how can I put it on film?
Mm.
So that's when the whiteboard process came out and just writing these things. And it was like I tell people all the time, like the initial plot of this film is not what people are gonna see.
Yeah,
Like
not
it
at
was
all.
something totally different.
My job, yo, we've been writing this for a while.
Absolutely. Like it was something
And
totally different.
it
And
was
I'm glad of
completely
the
different.
direction that we're going in it,
Yeah,
and just crafting this universe and crafting these characters and developing this story. Like every person in this film has a unique background and serve
yeah,
a unique purpose. And just I thank my amazing team, like the team around this whole process, like just helping craft this from BTS to direction and certain things and ideas and things like that. Like I couldn't have done it without you guys. And
yeah,
we
man. We
truly, like I always say, like, man, just looking at it and hearing it, like, man, we created a beautiful piece of art.
yeah.
Now for the people, for the select few people that's going to see it throughout the year, they can dictate how they feel about it. They can dictate, okay, I understood it, but it may could have been better on this end, and things like that.
Hold on, let me. I think my battery died. Give me 1 second.
All right. So yeah, like that's when the real I would say, well, that's when the real challenges and things come in. But once we start getting that feedback from people that have done it 10 years, 20 years, and things like that, that's when we really just, okay, let's go back, revisit it. If we feel it need to be revisited because it's our art and we feel that it's okay to us, then okay. But we also have allowed ourselves for criticism. We also have allowed ourselves for growth throughout this journey and throughout this process. Because I always say it's always room for improvement. And with this being like, this is what, my third film, really second because the second was scrapped, but like each one I have gained a different perspective on how to approach filmmaking in itself. And that has been a beautiful journey for me since
Oh
2018. When I
shit.
first started this, I was just like, okay, if I'm going to invest in this high quality audio, this high quality visual, this team, and things like that, now it's on us to develop this story.
Yep.
So us telling a story through sound, us telling a story through color, us telling a story through certain unique key points throughout this film, like will forever be beautiful for me. And it's like damn, bro, like I'm loving the film more just talking about it like this.
Yeah.
And
I
just
mean,
seeing it every day, it was damn near a headache for me. Like that's
yeah,
a part of the process that we can get into. Like just editing it every day, looking at it every day, hearing it every day. At some point, it was just like, damn, bro, like I am.
it's mind numbing.
Yeah, it's just like, like I'm ready
Yeah.
to get this over with, but it's just like, okay, I'm. It's a part of my everyday life now, so it's just like if it was, if I was in my own head, like we'll still be trying to edit this film and trying to get it right. And I was just like, okay, I have to leave myself room for, like, okay, this is okay. This can be done differently the next time. But again, it goes back to the bricks that we're laying in the house that we're building. We have the luxury throughout the year to add on, to take out, and things like I already see something I want to rearrange in the
Yeah.
film that I felt like could have been like just ideal wise, it could have been done a different way.
Yeah.
But we have that luxury
Yeah,
of
I
this.
think a lot of one of the biggest things one of the biggest critiques I had with it was every scene felt like major points of a bigger film.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know what I mean? Like every scene felt like this is the crux of a major scene. And every scene felt like that, which I think that's a great thing. I think when it's positioned in the short film as we have it,
Mhm,
it it can work against you in a bit. But that again, that's me being overcritical of it and seeing where what we can do better. Because
mhm.
every scene felt like, oh man, this is like the crux of it, where we could build something around that scene. We could build
Every
something
scene
around
felt like
this
a
scene.
short film in itself.
Every scene felt like a short film,
Yeah,
which
yeah,
I mean that's a great thing because it speaks to the 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 um the quality of the content and what was being said or what it, like I said, it works both. It can go left or right. It can work against you. It's like they're not saying enough, or it's like it just feels
mhm.
like that, or it becomes this thing where it's like it generates interest and intrigue. Like, damn, I
Right,
kind of want to know more about this character. I kind of want to know more about the scene. I kind of want to know more about that. And it like that opens so many other doors for us to create. And
right, yeah,
what people don't know is that these stories have so many. They are more in depth. The characters are more in depth, and not only that, the backstory of the story is good. You know what I mean? There's
right,
a whole world in that. There's a whole series. There's a whole film that can be. The storyline of that is so good. That's being developed. Not to mention every story of every character, and then just how you could combine it into this one universe, and how just what's going on is something that hasn't even really been explored yet. We know it because it's something that we're in development of, but
absolutely.
yeah, like the people don't know it. But it's exciting because you get a glimpse of it in this film, and like it's every scene feels like a trailer. Every scene feel, and that was one of my biggest things. Was like, damn, every scene feels like a trailer, but that's also it's also good in the sense of like this being one of the first bodies of work that are coming out, and that's not
Right,
saying that we're not going to add to this particular body of work to expand it more, maybe to highlight some of those things that we see. But as a first film, I think is perfect because it's like a good introduction to what's to come, or a nice
absolutely,
little glimpse at what you're seeing. Um,
absolutely. And I can say about that, just every moment and every scene feeling like a short film in a way, in a small way that was done on purpose, but I kind of
yeah,
did feel like it was done like it was overdone in a way.
yeah,
Because again, like it's a short film. It's what like I ain't gonna get a runtime, but it's I wanted every scene to speak volume.
yeah,
like from the music from the sound, from the color, from the acting and things like that, and what was visually in place in this film. Like there's a part, and I want to know, did you catch up? There's a part in the film to where when John sees the wise man. Did you catch the book that he was reading?
Yeah, it was damn, I forgot the name of it, but I did notice it. Yeah,
So yeah, he was reading a book called The Color of Money.
The Color of Money. Yeah, yep,
Yeah, and just building the black wealth and things like that.
yep,
And that moment shaped what happened later, like the plot
yep,
of what happened later on in that film and things like that. And even the poster that was displayed in the beginning scene, that was another last minute thing. Like just
yeah.
me going to Office Depot and just try to get that because we had to pivot from
The
the
Spike Lee.
situation and things
Yeah,
like that. So yeah, we just that. Well, I don't want to get too much in that, but like that title alone not only shaped the film and what those two words mean.
but what's
It's,
coming next?
yeah, it's also going to foreshadow like
Yeah,
what's coming next. And
and that's God, man. You can't even what else is that? That's a error. That's correcting an error that leads to something greater.
absolutely,
That expands into something bigger. Um, something was really dope that I was happy you ran with because I know this wasn't even originally part of the plot. Was the Black Wall Street uh storyline of it? I remember
mm,
because originally it was something else, and I had this idea for the Black Wall Street. It, I
mm,
I remember having it and being like, damn, this is. I felt like it could play into it, and I didn't know we were going to use it or not. And then I see how you integrated it, and I'm like, shit, man, this is going to be
yeah,
good.
it's shaping the whole
It's
universe.
shit because oh man, we have an opportunity to do like just teach so much and to I feel like do something that isn't hasn't been done. It's being done, but I don't think it's being done like this.
Oh yeah,
And oh man, there's just there's so much that we could do with financial literacy, man. And not only that, telling so many different stories. Man, y'all just gotta stay tapped in because there's a lot going on. I think that's very unique, very special. That these characters are gonna take you on a ride, man.
absolutely, man. Well, yeah. With that being said, man, like I talked about in the beginning, man, we are officially off to film festival. The film was submitted February 28th, and we have submitted to over 7 film festivals, 8 categories plus more throughout the year we're gonna do. And yeah, man, we are. That's a whole different journey in itself that
Yep.
I like never been through, and it's just since I've been in this filmmaking game and just studying just the likes of people like Ryan Coogler, first film Fruitville Station, his first big film. I think it won a Sundance Award
Yep.
and things like that. And the film Talk to Me was picked
Hmm.
up by A24 because it was going through the film festival circuit and things like that. So that alone is a journey that I'm excited for. Like I tweeted today, like that is I'm really excited about that one. Not only are we gonna be able to win awards, hopefully, Lord willing, and get
Hmm.
selected to film festivals and travel, but we also get feedback. Like we get feedback
Or
from people that have been in the game for 10 plus years, 20 plus years, 30 plus years. Like we get their feedback on how they feel about the film. And
hmm
that's what I'm most excited for, like that journey, as
yeah,
far as just hearing somebody
give
that's
constructive criticism.
absolutely, and just
Yeah.
someone that's totally from a different background of mine
Yeah.
that just indulged themselves and immersed themselves into this world and this film to give their feedback, whether it's good or bad. Like all that is
Mm.
welcome throughout this process. And like I'm really, 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 really looking forward to like that
Yeah.
process, networking, traveling, and
Yeah.
like I
Really
said, man,
being putting boots to the
absolutely.
ground.
Absolutely, Lord willing, man, we get selected and bring home a few awards, man.
Come
Like
on, let's
that's
go, man. Come on.
absolutely. I got a
From
lot of goals written down that I written down in January pertaining to this film,
yeah.
and it's just like there's gonna be someone out there that loves jazz music that falls in love with this,
Yeah.
man.
I think, man,
I really do feel like that.
the aesthetic, man, yeah, the aesthetic of this film is so fly, man. It's so fly. And I know you have a lot of inspiration from Superfly, from the newer version. There's a lot of inspiration from right? Superfly. Yeah, Superfly.
Yeah, in the shy.
A lot of inspiration from the shot. Um, but you like in that and you having this vision, you created something I don't even think you realized what it was aesthetically, where the jazz music, the coloring and all that, and I keep mentioning this word, is noir, which is this particular style of filmmaking and storytelling that I was like, shit, he might have stumbled upon this just without even realizing it. And I saw it when I was mixing the sound, and then my girl saw, like, my girl pointed it out, and I was like, okay, I'm not the, and my girl's a film of she's a big film person, so I was like, okay, I'm not the only one who notices it. So it's like, I think there's something very unique and special about that, and even more so when you stumbled upon it, um and that it's just a dope way to storytell in a modern day, where it's like, damn, there's some fly shit. There is somebody out there who loves jazz, who loves the pacing, who sees the aesthetic, all those things. Because again, those things tell a story as well. It's not just
Absolutely.
the script. It's not just the storyline. It's the way the aesthetics play, the way the sound, the way these color, like all that is telling you. So if you it encapsulates you into these scenes, and it's like, man, it's something unique, that's for sure, and that's what tells me that there's something here, you know what I mean? Because
Right.
in the mixing of that, when you feel it, it's a feeling you get, and it's just like, man, there's something special about it. So we gonna bring home something. If
Oh
not,
yeah.
if we,
We leaving with something.
we leaving with
I'm
something.
putting around the way.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
leaving with something.
yeah. If not,
Hey,
the opportunities that
we
come from
leaving with
this
something.
is gonna be monumental. I believe that, because I mean, there's just so much more to come. That's the reality of it. That's what people don't see. You're gonna see this film, but what you don't know is that there's 10 other films behind this. You know what I mean? Like, that's the part that people don't know. That they don't know
Absolutely.
how everything developing behind it. Um,
I
so
feel like
even if you
Thanos was just waiting.
Yeah, so even if you don't, you might not like that one, but you gonna love this one. You know what I mean? You might not like that. You might have been like, damn, that one wasn't for me. But this next one gonna hit you in your chest, and you're gonna be like, damn, this the one for me. And if that one don't do it, the next one will. That, because it's so much story. It, everybody's gonna have an opportunity to connect. This, because there's a story for everybody.
Absolutely.
There's something relatable for everybody. And as it develops more and we perfect this style of storytelling, because it's that's the thing when you're building a universe, you're kind of crafting this style of storytelling, and character development. And as we get better at that, because we
That's
only
a
gonna
fact.
get better at it.
Oh,
you know
indeed.
it. We gonna learn how to put lightning in a bottle for y'all, and you can't help but watch the show.
And for that
Um,
one dude that told me to catch up, hey,
Look at
I
me
ain't even got nothing to
now.
say. Hey, mm,
Yeah, man.
mm.
I was just talking about, it's funny. I was in the car this morning, and what was I listening to? I was listening to JBP, and they were talking about the Jermaine Dupri comment about the
Independent artist.
independent artist, right?
Mm.
And so I was having that conversation in the car, and I was like, damn. And I was talking about an artist I work with, who I worked with. And I was saying, what's crazy, that I get what Jermaine Dupri was saying. Uh, but we're in a different time, right? Like today, the major a major label, like as an independent artist or creative or whatever, a major label wants you to be already established, have a fan base, have a viewership, have engagement, have success already before they invest in you, right? Uh, the artist I was working with wanted to be a major label artist, but didn't have the major label work ethic. It, he was stuck in an era of the music industry where it was like, oh, I just rap good and people gonna invest in me. And I'm saying this to say, just because you rap good, just because you do something well, just because that don't mean that don't mean people are gonna buy your product. You know,
All right. Yeah.
you have to be able to thread it all together, whether it's filmmaking, whatever it is. So for all you lazy motherfuckers, for all you lazy sons of bitches, work harder. Work harder. And that's just my point. It's like, man, I put out a book while I was in a shelter. Work harder. And I'm not saying I'm the man. I'm just saying what the fuck I can do. What I've done in my life. What I can show up at the table with as far as work ethic. I got a whole damn family and a job and all that. I contributed as much as I possibly could to this film. It's a blessing to have people on your team that could carry the load the way they carried it. Darrell carried a lot of the load in this film. He built a team around him that he was able to see. You got to know your players. You got to know what your guys are good at. You know, you got to
Absolutely.
know what guy is good in what position. Put your people in position. This person is good over here. He may not be good over there though, but let me keep him over here. I throw him the ball when over here. That was, yo, you did a good job of doing that. You knew where to put your pieces at on the chessboard and how to move and operate to execute.
Appreciate you. Appreciate
So
you.
it's like you have to know how to do that as leadership skills. As so for yo, it can be done. Anything could be done. This shit is, man. We just getting started, man. I'm gonna love yo. I look forward to talking my shit, man. I already talk a lot of shit. I look forward to when bringing the trophy home and just being like, y'all suck. Y'all just lazy, man. Because if you can't be, man, success is talent and hard work, man, and consistency. There's so much people who are trash, who are untalented, but are very successful because they work hard. And I respect the man who work hard. I don't respect the lazy fucks, man. There's a lot
Indeed.
of you lazy motherfuckers out there who like to just talk.
Perfectly said, man. We
I
can
just
end it
like,
on that.
yeah.
Perfectly said.
um,
Well, yeah, this has been a segment, laying the foundation, man. We're gonna be talking. We're gonna be doing this for the rest of the year. Like
yeah,
we
man,
like hopefully we can give y'all an update next week, or
yeah,
then hopefully we can give y'all an update next week on the journey, selections and things like that. So
yeah, man. I look forward to it. So yeah, man. I kind of before we do film awards mean anything, and how much weight does it hold?
yeah, I was just looking at that. I seen we had that on our docket. For me, for not dang.
It's weird.
I'm gonna go grand scale. And I'm gonna keep it on the independent scale. For independent filmmakers, it means a lot,
Yeah,
but it also doesn't mean anything at all. Just because you didn't win an award, just because you didn't get selected, doesn't mean you didn't make a good film.
yeah,
Like there's a
100%.
million variables. I think I was watching standard story film. I can't forget the guy on YouTube, but there's a million different variables of why your film didn't get selected, like
Yeah,
timing, like just genre. It's a million different reasons
yeah.
for that, and maybe they just didn't see it, or just the person that was watching it just it wasn't
Didn't
for
get it.
them.
Yeah,
So there's a million different things why. So yeah, like from my standpoint, for an independent filmmaker, it means a lot to me. Only because not just to gloat or say like I have this award, but to more so get the proper feedback and get the recognition that okay, I feel like okay, I like me personally, I got this film out. It's a success to me.
Yeah,
But we
exactly.
live in this filmmaking world, like, and just like any other creative, you put it out to the world, then you have to accept whatever criticism comes with it, whether you like it or not. So yeah, the independent film festivals and awards and things like that, it means a lot to an independent filmmaker. And even on a much larger scale, an Oscar and things like that, like you never know how you feel about it until you get it.
Yeah.
Like you can say F the Oscars all you want, but then you be like, hey, so and so just won an Oscar. You be like, and when you finally win one, you be
Yeah,
like you gonna feel away. You're not just
yeah.
gonna throw it away and just like, come on,
well,
what we doing?
well, I will say that the Oscars this year, I saw a lot of independent filmmakers won this year.
Yeah,
So it's
yep.
like, I mean, it just speaks to what I was saying earlier. Is like, um, that work ethic counts, man. That when you make something intentional, like, I mean, that independent film went over like films like Wicked. Wicked was like a blockbuster smash. Like,
For real.
we don't even get those anymore. Like,
Doom 2, The Brutalist, like it
yeah,
won
like,
over Doom 2, Brutalist, like
so,
yeah.
so the art matters still. Even at these levels, the art matters. The creativity matters. Uh, so the storytelling matters, like, because those are the things that won that film. And I know there's a lot of politics. I'm not talking about the politics because we all know there's politics in the game. But when those guys win, it's like, oh shit, you can create something that cuts through the noise, man. And what I like about the Oscars is that they give awards for these little like the like certain things that highlight like foreign films and shit, like the
Mhm,
sound of thing. Like, they give awards for all those things. So it's like,
mhm.
and I'm not saying chase the award, but if you're creating at that level, then you have a shot. And again, it leaves you open to criticism, but at least you can compete in the race. You know what I mean? And that's always fun, if nothing else. It's always
Absolutely.
worth, getting in the ring. You know what I mean? Um, Yo, and
Absolutely.
I posted this earlier today. It's a Rick Rubin quote, and he said you're successful as soon as you send your work out into the world. To
Hmm.
tag on to what you were saying,
That's a fact.
it don't gotta be for awards. It don't gotta be for, sometimes you completing something and putting it out that you've already won. You've already done what most people are not doing. And what comes with that is everything that comes after that. One thing I loved about being a creative and putting things out and just really shooting my shot with things was that uh I put myself in the direction or in the line of fire of what's to come.
Mhm.
Like, I couldn't be a filmmaker, I couldn't be a music producer or a podcast. I couldn't be any of those things. I couldn't be a author. I couldn't be any of those things if I ain't stepped in the line of what it was. My first book took me 3 years to really put it together. But once I started, I remember one of my mantras every day was like, you started. That was the hardest. Now it's finishing. You don't finish unless you start. Filmmaking,
Absolutely.
we don't get to this process, to this part of the process, if we never started. And and this starts from conversations from years ago, before there was a script. It was just conversations of, yo, I want to do this. That's how it started.
That's a fact.
That's how it started. I want to do this. I got this idea. I got this character. That's how it started. To now, the first film is done. So it's like, it create it, if not for you, create it because you want to put it out. Create it for you, but to tell the story you want to tell for everybody out there. Um,
That's a fact.
I mean, I look forward for the updates on this, man. I look forward to updating y'all, talking more about this independent grind, independent filmmaking, breaking down the scenes, talking more about this whole film, man. And I'm excited, man. I'm excited for what's next. Oh, I guess
Absolutely.
that's God talking right there. All right, so we're gonna wrap it up.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. This has been another episode of the I Hate the Industry podcast, laying the foundation series. I am your humble and handsome host, Stephen Almeida. That, of course, is my good brother, the co-host, the architect of the Go Print, the foundation layer, man, the brick layer, Darrell Reese Jr., man.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
All right, y'all. Until next time, man. Peace.
Peace, peace, peace.